Hi, yo, what's going on? So I'm starting this series, just talking about being a husband, being a parent, being a father, and just being a man overall. So today, the first part of the series, I want to talk about pregnancy in the sense of supporting my wife during her pregnancy and just kind of what it all entailed. So I think something that is not spoken about enough, which is important. I think it's actually going on often. It's just again not spoken about a lot. Please don't mind my kid in the background. But as a husband, supporting your wife, bro, if you can attend all her, OBGYN visits while she's pregnant, or you can just, just be with her whenever she has to do something concerning the pregnancy that's medical, it helps a ton. Because a lot of the times I was able to also add a voice and be a third perspective, in terms of like she might say, oh, she might have forgot about a pain that she was having Tuesday, but the visit was on a Friday, so she already forgot about the Tuesday pain. I can say, oh, yo, remember on Tuesday you were feeling like this, blase blase, and I'm able to advocate for her. So essentially, I think the role of one of the important roles one of the more important roles when it comes to being a husband and supporting your wife in pregnancy is advocating. When it comes to medical visits, when it comes to just making sure she is taken care of. Because a lot of the times, again, like the doctors, the nurses, the physicians that sometimes they might see will not fully understand. Like they'll think that what she's going through is normal or not. Another important thing is pay attention to your wife's vitals. Just pay attention to it. If you want to write it down, that's cool. If you don't, I didn't write it down. My wife is a nurse, so I asked her, like, for example, when it comes to your blood pressure, what's a good top number? What's a good bottom number? I'm not even like a medical person, but there's certain terms that you need to know in order to properly advocate. Blood pressure and weight are two. I'm sure there's more, but to me, those are probably the most important ones, for me to keep track of, in terms of just making sure that she was, because they have charts and different things in terms of what, like the additional weight that your wife should be adding on when she's pregnant, depending on the week or how far along she's along. That sometimes they have like indicators, but again, everybody's different, so it's important for you to again advocate, and just like if your wife's case is a little bit different, advocate for that. You feel me? And most of the times the physicians will be able to come up with a plan or just give you some insight. And sometimes they'll tell you, hey, these are some things that you might want to look out for. It's just nice to be able to be there. For example, like I know there was a situation, and gradually as we got into the third semester or third trimester, I'm saying semester, as we got into the third trimester, I noticed one of her vital signs were just a little bit out of the range, and I brought it up to the doctor. It wasn't that she had forgot about it, but my wife is going through other pains in terms of like the cramping and just the overall change, like the medical change of having a child. Like, bro, like when your wife is having a baby or getting ready to have a baby, I'm not gonna say she's a different person, but like hormonally, there's a lot of things going on. So it's important for you to just be paying attention to kind of what's going on and just being there for them. Like figure out, when it comes to the snacks or different foods that she likes to eat, like you have to be another person to just be watching, hey, this is what you should be taking in. For example, like I know I was always on my wife about eating eggs, because I know that it does, it has some sort of, I don't know, it benefits the child in some way, and it gives her a protein that I know that is vital for, her pregnancy and supporting that. So whatever it is, just try to figure out ways to support them. So rest, hydration, and food. Those are the top three things I would say are really important to keep an eye on when it comes to handling someone who is pregnant. And that's on the physical side, but then on the mental side, like you gotta be there as a husband. We've been talking about it a lot at church, like the husband is the priest of the home, right? And it's not just always physically supporting them, but praying for them and also checking up on their mental. Like sometimes, like they might not want to have a conversation, and that's fine. They might just want you to sit there. They might want you to support them. Whatever support looks like for your wife in that moment, you want to try your best to meet that need. You feel me? And just be there, be that support. So not only physically supporting them, but also like mentally and spiritually supporting them as well is very, very important. Another aspect when it comes to supporting, at least supporting my wife when it came to pregnancy, was family. I don't know how to explain this, but sometimes someone else can say the same words that I'm gonna say, But once it comes out of somebody else's mouth, it's the Lord speaking. And when I say it, it's something else. And that's just how it is. We're human, you know? And again, hormonally, there's a lot going on. You're the face that they see every day. Try to get them support around family, friends, and just make sure that they're calling, checking, doing FaceTimes. Try to get your wife out the house when you can, to just do walks, or maybe just get them around other people. I know one thing that I was really adamant about when it came to my wife was, because we're probably one of the first people in our friend group to get married and have kids. So one thing we always deal with is like, will our friends like detach from us, or will our friends stop hanging out with us because we got a kid now, or blah, 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 blah. I know the obvious answer is like, oh, of course not. But there's like moments where you're like a little bit lonely, or times that you would have normally been hanging out that you're not because your wife isn't feeling well, or you're not feeling well, blah, blah, blah. But again, when you're going through the pregnancy, try to be intentional about surrounding your wife with her camp. Get her like her mother's voice, get her father's voice around her, checking in on her. Sometimes they're able to offer some things that you cannot. But again, what you can do is surround your wife with the camp that's necessary for her to just feel supported in that moment. I think mentally as a man, you really have to rely on the spirit. You got to stay strong. And it's tough because, you know, men were always told to stay strong, but it's your like mental fortitude is key when it comes to supporting your pregnant wife. And I think one of the ways that you can balance your mental fortitude and her mental well-being is through prayer, word, and also like speaking to other people. Like I can't explain how far I've gotten in life by just having conversations with elders, in terms of like people who are older than me, who have walked paths that I'm currently walking in. And you just never know, like you might just get the right word from somebody that can really speak to your situation. I had a handful of conversations, not all the time, and I wasn't like necessarily relying on the conversations, but I was again looking for insight from those conversations. You'll be surprised at the amount of wisdom that surrounds you. But until you tap into that, until you sit down, ask questions, you know, you really won't know what's around you. Look, with me, I had constant conversations with my pops. My mom also kind of gave me some good insight in terms of like how to really support her. Another thing too, I think that's important is like as a husband, if you see that your wife is struggling with a few things and you feel like whatever that specific thing is, they need a little bit more encouragement, it's okay for you to pass the word along to your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your parents, so that they can start to uplift in regards to whatever the area is. Like I said, like a lot of things are changing when it comes to your wife and pregnancy, physically and mentally. Pregnant women sometimes get fixated on certain things, and sometimes those fixations can be cool, sometimes they can be a little bit problematic, but again, like you can use her camp to just encourage her concerning that thing. And I'm not saying run to everybody and tell her, hey, my wife is dealing with blah, 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 can you please say a word? Like, nah, that's not what I'm saying. But at least like the close people, like your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or even your parents or your siblings, like have them just like, you know, remind her, hey, yeah, of course you still look beautiful. Of course you, like their body is changing, but like give them that positive reinforcement that they still look good, you know. And that's something that you can do as a husband every day. Like it's not going to kill you to tell your wife that she looks amazing. And it's not going to kill you to tell your wife every single, like make it a point to encourage her, like let her know that she looks good. Let her know that, you know, like the word thank you, you need to say thank you. You need to show appreciation, bro. She's going through a lot, and it's not just for us because it was a mutual decision, you know, so we got to let them know that. But at the same time, we just need to let them know that we are thankful and appreciative of everything that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And granted, like we can't support them through everything, but at least our words can console them and we can create a positive environment. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about too real briefly, is the importance of the tongue. Whenever it comes to, and this expands beyond pregnancy in my opinion. When it comes to the power of the tongue, your words bring either life or death. I know people have heard this multiple times, but it's the truth. You have to speak positive things. Speak, like, especially as a man of God, we're people of faith, you know, and those times in pregnancy and other trials and seasons, you really have to display that by declaring and decreeing, like, you're going to do well, you're going to deliver this child, don't worry about it. Like, especially when you go through your first pregnancy, you really, really, really have to do a lot of encouragement and speak a lot of life into your wife. So definitely make it a point to create a positive environment. Like, always surround your wife with positive words, loving words. Let your words comfort her, hug her, and let her know that you're there for her, that God is there for her, and things like that as well too. Supporting your wife, or a man supporting his wife when it comes to pregnancy, is just impressing the importance of God being in the center. Like, there's a lot in pregnancy that, as a man, like, or as a human being, yourself and your wife, like, you can't really explain it, and you really can't like carry it, if that makes sense. And that's where the importance of God comes in. You know, the Bible talks about us giving our yokes to him, picking up our cross and following him. Those type of things are very, very, very important, in the sense of, you need to understand that you're only a human. Having a baby is a miracle. Delivering a healthy baby is a miracle. The baby even making it to 9 months, making it past 1 day cry, is a miracle. God is literally involved in every step. So it's important for you to continue to acknowledge him. Try to pray every day if you can. If you can do fasting, as the guy, if you can do fasting every now and again, trust me, it'll help you, because while your wife is eating those late night snacks and having those cravings, you're gonna be eating too, bro. I mean, maybe some people won't, but me, Charlie, I was doing that, bro. And I put on a little bit of weight, but hey, prayer and fasting helped me out maintain and just keep things cool. But outside of that, yeah, man, like, a lot of the pregnancy in general is God, and it's divine. Like, there's some things you literally cannot explain. It's important for you to just continue to acknowledge God, continue to let God know that he's welcome into this pregnancy, into your marriage, into your family, into your home. Constantly do that. Another thing that you can do whenever you go to the trips or visits when it comes to OBGYN, try to make them fun. Like, we did a thing where after every OBGYN visit, we went on a date. So we got food, or we went and walked around the mall, or we did something. So it kind of made our visits a little bit fun, in the sense of, like, there were some visits where we got, like, not bad news, but maybe a little bit concerning news, because we didn't really know much about what they were saying. So we had to do more research. But, you know, after doing those activities, doing those dates after the OBGYN visits, it's a nice way to really kind of clear the mind. Try to do a date or something to just kind of help you guys debrief about what was found, what was spoken about. And then just, again, like a reset, a nice little just take your mind off of what happened, whether good or bad, so you can celebrate, or you can do more research, or you can pray, or you can just do something to just, again, just clear the mind and just get you guys on track and make sure that you guys are on the same page. That's the last thing. When you're going through pregnancy, make sure y'all are on the same page. Again, I'm gonna repeat that. When you're going through pregnancy with your wife, the husband and the wife, make sure y'all are on the same page. And it's just y'all two. It doesn't include the parents. It doesn't include the siblings. It doesn't include friends. It's just y'all two. Like, with us, we kind of had a plan-ish in terms of, like, you know, who could visit the hospital after we had the kid, and different things like that, and how we wanted to go about that. But regardless of what we wanted to do, the important thing was that we were on the same page. Just talk. Communication is so vital. I mean, there's so many things, but, you know, it's easy to forget things. But one thing I will say is it's never too late. In the sense of, I know sometimes there are things that you wanted to do as husband and wife. Like, you're like, oh, when we got pregnant, we're going to do this. And then you're already in, like, month 3 of being pregnant. And you're like, is it too late for us to start praying? Nah, it's never too late for you to start praying. It's too late for us to, you know, come up with a plan of how we want to go to the gym or how we want to do walks. It's never, ever too late. Like, if it comes to your mind, see that as the Holy Spirit prompting you and reminding you that, hey, like, this is important. Once he brings it to the forefront of your mind, you can start implementing it then. It's never too late for you to start implementing it. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of my rant. I'm going to find some more things to kind of talk about. I know people want me to dive in a little bit more into, like, the man's perspective when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to being a father, when it comes to being a husband, or being a man, like, solo dolo as well too. But we'll find time for those type of things. So that's it. That's the end of my rant. I'm done. Martha's here. She's saying
My husband is the best.
ah. All right, y'all. Peace.